You wouldn't have to go anywhere because this is the Talk Beat Jones and about that 7 days a week from 7:30 to 12. Check me on that. Maybe 7 o'clock. I may be a half an hour off. Check it out for yourself. But again, on the Roku box, Amazon, Apple, the Alexa, and of course the Fire Stick. You can watch all of those modalities and watch TV 33 WHPR, WHPS. Yes, both of those. We're on both WHPR and WHPS for your viewing pleasure. Once again, if you choose to want to call and make a comment on this section, on this time, the numbers is 313-868-0342, 868-0351, and 868-4336. If there is something on your mind, in your heart, got your chest all rattled, and you said, you know, this happened this week, and I need to speak on it. Well, this is your time. This is your time to talk on the Talk Beat Jones with Billy E. Jones, and we're going to utilize the moniker Talk, Dr. Talk. Why? Because I like to talk, and I find from the folks who are watching Billy E. Jones, Talk Beat Jones, people tell me they like to listen to me talk. And I asked, why don't you call? He said, because I like what you're saying and I want to get all the information without interrupting you. But remember, family, when you're a talk show host, you can't be interrupted. Why? Because I have the telephones in front of me. In fact, I have the 3 numbers that I'll give to you again. Those numbers are 313-868-0342. The number, second number, 313-868-0351. Also, last number, 313-868-4336. And again, you call any of those numbers and I'll put you through. And we can take the time and talk with you, because that's really what I want to do, is hear what you have to say. But in the meantime, maybe I'll throw out something that may tickle your brain, may tickle your heart, may tickle your soul, may make you say, well, you know, I need to make a comment, or I got a different thought. You can do that with Billy E. Jones on Talk Beat Jones. Once again, for those who didn't get the numbers earlier, the number 313-868-0342, 868-0351, 868-4336. And remember, Talk Beat Jones, Billy E. Jones, we're on the air every Sunday live from, I'll get you in a moment, caller, from 8:30 until 10 a.m. every Sunday. We're live. So tell your friends that. And if those friends and you happen to say, wow, I missed him this Sunday, well, tell them, well, no problem. Pick him up Sunday night from 8 to 9:30. Caller, don't want to keep you waiting. You're live on the Billy Jones, Talk Beat Jones. Thank you for taking time to call. You're live.
Yeah, my name is Tyrone. How you doing, Bill?
Hey, man, how you doing? Glad you're joining me. I'm missing you, bro.
Yeah. I called in because, I got my viewpoint about so much friction going on in this city.
I want you to take your
With the
time.
charter,
Hey, Tyrone, there's no
we
rush.
have
Take your time and talk to me.
problems. And, if they don't try to get things together in this town, man, I'm afraid that it's going to blow up or something because every time you look around, you got people on the charter saying, well, the folks want to put charter, want to change the charter. The charter's supposed to be like a Bible for the city. And I can't understand if you have elected people that was elected for the position, what is all that friction that we have when we put black folks in office? They it's worse than the Democrat Party. When you got 20 people running for president, and then the man that you don't want to win, he gonna come right in because there ain't no unity, man.
And I want you to stay with me and let's have a dialogue, okay? Because I'm just exploring some thoughts like you. The book called Robert's Rules of Order is supposedly when you come into a commission or a board and you are operating under the Robert's Rules of Order, which is a precise idea in terms of how people are supposed to work together to represent their constituents best and have it done in an orderly fashion. Now, what we are watching, and I need you to comment as well, is that it is the interpretation that seems to be going on from the different folks who are dealing with the boards, and I would say the charter board as well as the police commission board, and which I'd like to discuss with you as well. The charter, you spoke earlier about how it looks like it's getting dangerous in Detroit with what is going on in these meetings, correct?
Right.
I'm feeling you, brother. I'm feeling you very much. And, on most half of the time, for most of the time I sit behind the microphone, I try to take a view in which I sit on the fence till I get all the great information, and then I know which side is okay to deal with or don't deal with. And I'm very comfortable with my positioning, my stated position at this point, is I can see why this community is so upset, is ready to make moves. The system that has been in place, the board and the commissions that supposedly is fair and is voted and put out acting as though, well, if you do this, here's what's going to happen, and it's going to be all in the great interest of us having a conversation that's come out, and the answers that will come out be best for the community because the community will have the input. That's a lie. We're seeing how these boards and how these commissions have been stacked by the folks who are in charge to make sure that they are acting as though you have the lip service, you have the power because you have the numbers, etc. But it's a lie because they have put their people, the appointees or the people that they have backed with money to make sure that they have the majority. And any time that you have the majority and your majority of folks are unbroken, that means that they are not listening to the facts that are brought to them by the people to help them make fair decisions. If they are already brokered in knowing what they're going to do, then where is the fairness in folks taking the time to come and voice their opinion and voice their thoughts at these board meetings or at these commission meetings? Can you help me with that one?
Well, I think the problem is that, first of all, you have people, and you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, sir.
That used to live in this city, and they talking about what Detroit is making a great comeback.
Yes.
It's coming back, but the thing about it, same thing like when Snyder was in there, I think this is my opinion, I think you got the people that's got the attitude that they already took the power away from the people. Like when Snyder was in there, he made a board and they had to go to city council, couldn't make no decision because they had an overseer board in Lansing. to me is almost saying we are putting people. We want the city to come back, but we don't want the folks that the majority of the black folks who live in this city had no control. That's all it looked like to me. We gonna come back, and we know we are the minority of people that are coming back to the city, but we want to have more control. So what they do, they get people that run for different offices and stuff like that, and then all they doing is doing their agenda. And see, I think in the future it's going to backfire on them because people are getting tired. You know, people are not dumb.
That's right.
You got people that come to the meeting and everything, and they can see that the mayor or whatever want to get his peoples in there to change the charter in their favor, and you can treat black folks like this 1920. We are smarter than that.
That's right.
And the peoples are not going for that. That's why you got so much friction at the meeting.
Tyrell, let me, and I want you to come back and continue your thought. I just want to throw this in there. They taught the city council folks in Detroit a lesson, and they did the lesson teaching to our black city council folks and the rest of the council folks, but they were black at that time mostly. Benton Harbor, if folks remember when this stuff was going on in Benton Harbor, city council folks, they refused to bend. They refused to bend over. And what did the city manager or the emergency manager do with them? He took their money, he took their privileges, he took their benefits, and he made them kind of like, you're a city council, but you don't have any voice, and now you don't have any finances. And when the city council folks of Detroit was asked to stand up with a straight back and no bend over, you heard city council members talking about, well, you know, I've got kids and I got children in school and I got things to take care of, so I need. So what did they do? They bent over. And once you start bending over, then it becomes easier and easier and easier to show that side of yourself. And so now what do we have with the board now, with the city council folks now? We have a Robert's Rules of Order that says, my colleague. We don't have folks in there tussling for the people. We don't have that anymore. We don't have the conflict that is checking the mayor. Everybody want to be a colleague. Everybody want to make sure everything looks good, appropriate. They don't want to have the interplay of, you're wrong, the way the board used to be, where the city council used to be for years and years and years. They talked about all them black city council folks, look at them, all they do is fuss and fight, but they were working to try to do some things for the people. Now, all you have is, well, my colleague, I vote with my colleague. They learn.
Yeah, they don't have no backbone.
They don't have no backbone.
They don't have
because
no backbone for the good example. When they had that Senate agreement to take over Bella, they couldn't did that no place but like in Detroit. They ain't gonna do it out there in Grosse Pointe and different places. Anytime that you have a city entity like Bella, the zoo or whatever, all that should have been voted on about the people. Just because you're a city council person and they put you in office, your job ain't to get the city entities away without a vote. They could have did that no way up. And see, and then I noticed that the Negroes who went along with the consent agreement, they got a job with the water board and don't have no expertise in that, or they got a job with thought. See, and, you know, it's a shame that you have Negroes sold to the devil, and time the folks get through using them, they're not going to need them no more.
But you know, when you were speaking on that, remember, folks, if you look at the city council folks who went, some of the city council persons who went along with that consent decree, what did they receive? One of them received a job making almost $200,000. Another received a job making over $100-some-thousand. You see, there is water on the other side of the dry land, and that's what people are doing. But at the same time, they are making sure that their family is going to be taken care of. They're making sure that their son, who is maybe a junior, is going to have the opportunities, because the good old boy that takes care of the family, who took care of the people needs, that is, not the people, but the folks who are in the corporate structure, people who are already entrenched in the political world. I'm going to take care of your family. And that's why they say in Detroit, it's like name recognition. It's also the good old boy network that goes on here. And we're seeing it's being uncovered. And some things that are happening here, the people, again, I'm going to state it like this. I come to Detroit. I want it to be where my people is, 90% black. People that would have some action, would take care of themselves. Yes, I come from Oakland, the Black Panthers, and the people who were doing things. Were is a capital word, were. You look at Oakland now. You look at the structure of what is going on in Oakland now. You talk about gentrification. You talk about who's in power, who's doing what. It's happening, and it's happening. It has happened here, and it's spreading, because as long as we allow the technicals to go out from the person who is the mayor's position or those persons in charge of that nature, what are they going to do? Everything that comes up, they're going to put their people who they can count on in charge. You look at the nominations, that is, the people who have been appointed to different positions of power. These are people that the people didn't want, and they could not win an election, but they are appointed by the mayor's office or by people who are in positions to make these appointments. Why? Because they want to fortify their position of power. Go right ahead, sir.
When you talk about the election situation, in my view, I think it's rigged. And I think the people are being selected instead of being elected.
Exactly. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Folks, white folks know, and I ain't making this out no black and white issue, but folks know that people vote, and I don't care what nobody say. When they say they don't vote, they vote. Okay, what way did you get over on the people? Okay, they vote, they vote. Well, what you do, you put somebody in charge that's going to work on your agenda, and because a lot of people are saying about the absentee ballot. You know, how is it I'm going to run for city clerk, and then I'm going to dictate the election? They need to have an outside person when the election come up for the clerk to run for that job. See, white supremacists got all kind of, they got an answer for everything you say. And it wasn't black folks' fault that they left the city 65 years ago, and they know they made a mistake and want to come back, you know. But I'm just saying, if you're going to come back the right way. Be fair about it.
And Tyrone,
you can't come back and then exclude the people that's already here, because what's going to happen, you're going to have a 1967 again if that attitude don't change. And the reason why I say that, if you get a police officer that shoot a brother for no reason in this town, and the people's attitude about the chief, all hell gonna break out.
Let me do this.
What they gonna tell their boss
Tyrone, let me do.
What they gonna tell their boss then?
Okay,
you don't have folks that can calm the city down if it was a incident like you back doing Coleman Young's down.
Okay, Tyrone.
Folks, yeah, don't work like that.
Tyrone.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we got that part. But here's a question that my time is running down, but I want you to stay with me again, because here's where we are. We was able to see the Charter Commission meeting. We were able to watch the interaction with Carol Weaver, the chair, and we were able to watch the conduct of the folks that was at the meeting, and we were able to watch again Carol Weaver stand up with a gavel, and technically a gavel in a person's hand who is moving it up and down, back and forth, sideways to sideways, is a weapon. And Miss Small was sitting directly under, next to Miss Carol Weaver. When she stood, she was standing over, adjacent to Nicole. And as that gavel continued to go up and down, side with side with Nicole, sitting down, reached up and grabbed the gavel that Miss Weaver had been welding and tried to stop her from welding that gavel. And Miss Weaver continued to grab and reach and pull back and forth, etc. And now we have Miss Weaver coming to a meeting with a sling, etc., and saying that she was injured. We have the police commission meeting, and we was able to observe a commissioner. Now here's where I'm conflicted, and I'll tell you why I'm conflicted. Because anytime that you have a meeting, and the meeting is supposed to be under Robert's Rules of Order. Now I hear folks talking about the results, and I hear these hosts, and believe me, believe this. Everybody embellishes things in the way that they want to make it happen. People are feeding the fire because of some of the things that they're saying. Some of the conversation is being inaccurate. Here's the way it actually should go. From my perspective, my opinion, which could be totally in the dark and wrong. But if you're going to be a part of a commission, and there are rules in terms of saying, here's how we have to go. We're in a timely fashion for everybody to participate in. And when you're called upon to speak, and you have the floor at that time. However, if the exchange between the chairperson and that commissioner, and we're talking about the police commission situation, and that commissioner refuses to yield back the time and or go back into an orderly situation, you leave the chair with a position to make a decision. Now here's where I'm questionable about the decision. We watched things that was going on with the government, and when people were being out of order, they put a stop to it. Now, they didn't have anybody arrested, but the chairperson was making a decision to how to mitigate that situation. The person that was there made a decision that was improper, in my opinion, because the process is that if you got the gavel, if you're the person, you can say, listen, because we have the situation, we're going to adjourn the meeting for 15 minutes to allow everybody to get themselves back in order. Hold on a minute, Ty. Call, I got about 2 minutes. You're live on the Billy E. Jones Talk B. Jones Show, and I want to remind everybody that we're live every Sunday from 8:30 to 10. You're live. Hello.
Good morning.
Good. Hey, you got 2 minutes.
All right, what?
Yeah.
I'm getting up late now, but like I said, when it comes to San Francisco, another top testing thing. When young kids was going on a nice little field trip, they stopped at a store down in Union Square in San Francisco at the Forever store and was accused of shoplifting, black kids, and they couldn't even find anything on video. This has become too serious, very serious.
Mm.
So I'm just saying, you know, and a part of it is the white people still calling on black people. If they stand in front of their building, they call on black people. Maybe they get them killed. So what do you think about that?
Oh, I'm giving you your full message of time, Mary. You got another minute.
Then. I'll try to get in earlier next week.
Because my talking time is from 8:30 to 9 o'clock-ish.
Oh, what is it California time?
I know it's early. It's about 5-something your time.
Good, great.
So what I'll do is I'll call and wake you up next time.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Because I tell you, folks have been wondering what happened in the last couple of weeks. But anyway, we'll talk. I'll call you and wake you up next time.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Tyrone, I want to thank you so very much. Is there a last minute of conversation you want to give to us before I have to go? Tyrone?
Oh, yeah, all I was saying, Billy, that these elected officials we have in office, they don't have no backbone, and if they don't try to get this situation together, it's going to be a mess, man.
Well, I ask that you continue to watch because that's the process, that's the direction that Billy E. Jones, Talk B. Jones, is going with my guests that will be coming, giving you the information, and also taking your questions. So you stay with us. There may be something more that you want to add to our program, okay?
Okay, thank you very much.
And I appreciate you, brother, and just love having to talk with you. Appreciate you very much. Thank you. And family, of course, you're watching Billy Jones, Talk B. Jones. And remember, you tell your friends now, we're on the air every Sunday from 8:30 to 10. And that's Detroit time. The young lady called from Oakland, California. Mary, her time, that means that she has to get up at 5:30 to be a part of the program. So if you're on the West Coast, it's 5:30 in the morning. But otherwise, it's still good because around the world, it may be the same time. Who knows? But if it's a different time, you know what time it is. It's Billy Jones, Talk B. Jones time. And again, my number, if you care to text me, 313-412-3111. That number to text is 313-412-3111. You have a comment, you have a suggestion, text me. I am Billy E. Dr. Talk Jones. We'll see you back very soon, okay? Thanks for watching. You wouldn't have to go anywhere because this is the Talk B. Jones, and